Have fun scoring on the Denver Broncos defense in 2026. In this video, I'm going to tell you why the Denver Broncos are going to be the best. Top 2, and they're not 2, coming up in this episode of the Crushing It Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, and Woo!
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Let's talk about scoring first, actually, shall we? Because I think it's a great place to start if I'm saying you are not scoring on the 2026 Denver Broncos defense. In their past 2 seasons, keep in mind, they've been running roughly same personnel, same defensive coordinator for the past 2 seasons, so we've got quite a bit to go off of here as we talk about this. In 2024, the Denver Broncos ranked 3rd in red zone defense at 46.9% conversion rate, and in 2025, they were number 1 at 42.6, just below the Vikings at 42.9 and the Rams at 46.2. The Denver Broncos are already putting up generational Super Bowl type numbers in the red zone, and they've been doing it for almost 2 straight years. Obviously, improvement from 24 to 25, and that's what you like to see with a defensive coordinator from technically his year 2 to year 3, but with this real grouping and personnel and head coach and everything, really year 3 of the Vance Joseph defense went swimmingly. You are not scoring on this Broncos defense whatsoever. Still want to talk about points, by the way. The Denver Broncos, for 2 straight seasons, have given up exactly 18.3 points per game, which has had them top 5 in the league both seasons that they've been going at this, right? And with this personnel grouping, this is another thing I want to talk about too. You talk about the guys that are in here. There is so much depth on this defense. Now, in 2025, obviously, they had John Franklin Myers. He's a major loss for them, but they are still rocking with guys in the secondary. Brandon Jones is going to be on the last year of his deal. He could play himself into an extension beyond 2026. That's not out of the cards. He was damn good last season. Pat Surtain, just a corner that won Defensive Player of the Year, is still on this roster. Riley Moss, who we've seen play really, really well, especially in 2025. I don't want to hear about the fucking penalties, right? And then you've still got other guys in this pass rushing room other than Jonathan Cooper. I don't think you need him. Zach Allen is still on this team. Nick Bonitto is still on this team. You've got talented guys like Jonah Ellis who could potentially step in and do the same shit that Jonathan Cooper was doing. Dondre Tillman has had a couple of really nice seasons out of the UFL. There is still a lot on this defense to work with, especially, I know we were really, really mad about linebacker over the offseason, but you've still got a solid guy there with Justin Stranad. Alex Singleton can tackle. He can't cover for shit, but he can still tackle okay, I think, mostly. Anyways. And then there's some young guys, too, that are talented, and this is where the depth of the Broncos defense comes in, right? Chris Abrams-Strain can step in and play good at any time he needs to. We're going to find out if Devin Key can translate that all-pro special team stuff to the defense, and I think he's had a little more time in the oven now that he's not going to be nearly as bad as he was in Baltimore that one season. Because goddamn, that was bad. That's all without mentioning as well, Talanoa Hufanga.
You are my sunshine.
Our favorite former 49er who has made his way over here. There is so much talent on this defense with a ridiculous, maniacal genius of a defensive coordinator, putting them where they need to be, even if it's not always the best pieces, even if you're switching out parts. Let's keep in mind, Pat Surtain was hurt for a good chunk of 25. Riley Moss was injured for a good part of 2024. Let's just let that sit for a second before we keep drilling in on some of these numbers, because some of these numbers are still fucking ridiculous.
And here he is, having the time of his life.
Pass defense, you want to talk about improvement? Well, have I got that for you. How does 19th in 2024 to 7th in 2025 sound? That's a pretty huge jump, and who's to say that the Broncos can't fucking do that again? They can't jump up again. This is an elite unit with elite players. Who's to say that they can't repeat that? Because the Denver Broncos pass defense was pretty goddamn stellar last season, I tell you what. Now let's talk about rush defense as well. I know they've had a couple of games where they get gashed every now and again. Every team does. Let's be honest here. But when we look at them 24 and 25, Holy consistency. In 24 and 25, the Broncos' rush defense was respectively 3rd and 2nd in yards given up. And the Broncos' defense, they just shut down running backs. They just shut down running backs. And that is something they have prided themselves on. Now, they are going to be tested on that front. However, Malcolm Roach is going to have to step up. Tyler Onyata might see himself getting some snaps. We might actually see some Xavion Jones this year. Uwazurike is another big body in that Broncos defense that'll have to step up against the run. Zach Allen as well, who is, funny that we mention, because if there is one thing that this Orange Crush, God knows what number, .0 is known for, holy fucking sack numbers, my guy. In 24 and 25, respectively, the Broncos put up 63 sacks and 68 sacks. And you want to know what position they finished in both seasons for sacks? I'll give you a second to guess. 1. Uno, motherfucker.
Uno, motherfucker.
The Denver Broncos have been the most sack-happy defense in the league. Nick Bonitto, he's your favorite offensive tackle's worst fucking nightmare, right? Jonathan Cooper has already played his part, and even though we don't know what kind of part he is going to play, I don't think fucking Vance Joseph needs him. Again, we've said this part already. BJ doesn't fucking need him. If we're being honest, there's talent on that defense, and whether he gets fucking something finally out of Drew Sanders, which I don't really foresee, or if Jonah Ellis just becomes a full-time guy. I thought Jonah Ellis looked really good off of the edge last season in the playing time that he got. This Broncos defense is going to be fucking insane. Again, on the sacks. Zach Allen said they wanted to break the fucking sack record for all I fucking care. So, another thing I want to point out too, and I have said this in other videos, is that the Broncos offense being on the field more means the defense has to be on the field way less. And when that happens, the defense isn't getting tired as often, because you got to remember, this Broncos defense carried this team throughout the early parts of the season. And in one of my prior videos, I mentioned, I think that's part of the reason why we see this defense slump in the month of December, is because they have to pull Herculean efforts like they have had God knows how many times over the past 2-3 seasons, however many times you want to stack it. And with that being said, the addition of Jalen Waddle, Davis Webb taking over as play caller, Jonah Coleman hypothetically going to be able to keep the running game going if J.K. Dobbins gets hurt, or if just R.J. Harvey develops more. I mean, this Broncos defense is set up to be absolutely fucking spectacular. Number 1, top 2, and they're not 2. And if you agree with me, Broncos country, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. But that is all the unhinged fucking yapping I've got for you today. Hope you enjoyed the video. And with that being said, I will see you all in the next one. Let me know what you think in the comments, of course. And yeah, this is Miles, signing off.